I don't know. I've spent these last. It's kind of strange because for the longest time, for many years now, I've had this attitude of just doing whatever I want and not being able to, sit still somewhere and have to do something and all that. Things are really changing right now because, like this week, Holy Week, these last few days especially, I went to church. I think on Friday, I went to church like twice in one day. Attended 2 services that were like both very long, and I didn't even feel bored. I didn't even feel the need to get up and walk away. Went again on Saturday to a very, very long one, and it felt very, very good. I loved it. So I guess things are a little bit different when you put a little bit of flavor into it, into your thinking, instead of going, "Oh, just do whatever I want, man." Then you don't want to do anything else. It is weird because at some point, there was a point where I was wondering how someone like you, could, for example, spend extended amounts of time sitting in environments, without doing anything that you want to do. But I guess with an atheistic mindset, it's very hard to understand. When you then change your life a little bit, things quite change, and everything suddenly seems very doable and all right. So, yeah. Everything is cool, man. Everything is wonderful. I'm very happy. I'm very happy with where I am. Some people are not very happy about the fact that I am very happy.
Yeah. Well, we're thinking of the same person, I think. I think I'll be making a video about this later this week, just to because he's making it so easy right now.
Some people are not happy that I'm happy. So weird, man. So weird. So we're talking about Matt Dillahunty here, of course. I want to start out with this. So I made a post the other day, which was simply this here, which was simply nothing except this. It said, "Life is better this way."
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I posted a photo from the church that I go to. I took this on Friday. And it's decorated and prepared for for Easter and all that.
Hold on. I just glanced over at the side. It's the Beverly Jew Billy's comedy Easter special. The Beverly Jew Billy's comedy Easter special. Anyway, sorry about that. Okay. Didn't mean to interrupt, but that was funny.
So I posted this, and I just said, "Life is better this way." And when I post stuff like this, I'm not meaning to tell people, "Hey, church, how dare you?
Atheist, I'm coming to subjugate you.
You're sick. You're sick. You're sick.
You're sick. Humiliated."
I mean, all I do is, and we use the channels that we have, no matter what they were built for and what we made them for, to express our place in life and express our state of mind and how we feel right now, right? And I feel very happy at the moment, so I post this online and say, "Life is better this way." That's all.
Yeah, pause. So think about this. From an atheistic perspective,
Yes.
Where, if someone dies believing in Jesus, or someone dies believing in Allah, or someone dies believing in nothing, then it kind of doesn't matter a whole lot, unless it's somehow massively affecting your life. If other people's beliefs are affecting your life in some negative way, then you can say, "Hey, this is something that's messed up." Apart from that, from a truly atheistic perspective, this tweet should be somewhere along the lines of, "I like Rocky Road ice cream the best. It's what makes me happiest." Something along the lines of that. And other people think different things. And, it's kind of a matter of taste preference or something like that. But not something to get terribly worked up over if you disagree. And yet, people will lose their minds.
So this is what I post. Life is better this way. Somebody doesn't like it. And the thing is, I personally don't have any problem with Matt Dillahunty. Never did. I always did think that he was a little bit over the top, and he was a little bit a little bit much in how he responds to people. I also made that quite clear when I co-hosted Atheist Experience with him twice or 3 times, maybe I don't even remember. I would kind of cut him off sometimes when he would go too hardcore into I don't know. We were talking to some woman who was like feeling very upset and found some hope in belief in God, and he was like just attacking her for that and mocking her, and I was like, oh, whoa, hold up. So he has a messed up side, but he also can be very, very nice and upstanding and can be very good on a personal level. But since I started making my conversion to Christianity known, he has been a little bit problematic about it. And he said, in response to me just posting this, prove it and prove that the claims are true. Until then, your faith-based performance like Ayan's is just trading one convenient master for another.
Right. All you said is, what'd you say? This is better, or life is better like this, or something?
Life is better.
Life is better this way. Prove that it's better. Well, keep in mind, what would your claim be based on? It would just be based on your experience, right? Like, hey,
the proof.
Like, hey, I've lived like this and I've lived like that, and life is better this way. Prove it. Prove that it's true. It's funny because Matt, you're kind of proving it for him, because if the alternative is being a sniveling little crybaby who's obsessed with whining about stuff that should make absolutely no difference to you because it's all meaningless, well,
apparently, when people responded to him, he's pointing out, no, so you're strawmanning me. Well, I mean, you didn't really make it very obvious, because all I posted is life is better this way with the church.
That's like, prove it. Yeah, that's like you wake up and you post, I love my wife. Prove it. Prove it. I'm a skeptic. You can't prove that to me.
I love my wife. No, obviously, I meant that your wife is real. Okay, you should have probably made that clear, man. So he posted this, and I really liked that Amy Alkin, who is herself an atheist, actually came in and said, oh, come on, I'm an atheist, and I used to be an a-hole atheist, especially in my 20s, but I took a look at myself and removed the a-hole portion of that. I don't have to believe as others to be happy that they get comfort community and other things that work for them out of their religion. It's small and ugly to go around rising up below some post where someone has expressed some joy or satisfaction about their religion.
There will be no joy or satisfaction allowed for mental
and demean them. You perhaps tell yourself you're doing something meaningful. You're not. No one is persuaded by the approach you took. Mm-hmm. In fact, I can imagine that people who are religious would be so off-put by this ugly behavior that they would find the notion of even considering whether there's something to the atheist viewpoint extremely distasteful. Heck of a job, Brownie. So that's what she posted. And by the way, again, and we've talked about this in the past, she's absolutely correct from an atheistic perspective. See, guys, for everyone who's watching, there are certain belief systems where it makes sense for people who have adopted that belief to want everyone to agree with them, right? It makes sense for Muslims to want to give dawah and make everyone agree with them, or even to subjugate them, because that's part of their ideology. It's commanded to them and so on. For Christians, it makes sense for Christians to want to preach the gospel to all people, right? In other words, these are matters of eternal significance in certain, according to certain ideologies. For atheism, it doesn't matter. Like what is the point? Okay, let me ask you. Suppose you spend your entire life, every moment, as an atheist, and then you die. What do you win? What do you win for being right your entire life? I didn't adopt a wrong position my entire life. It's kind of irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. So what does make sense is viewing different ideologies from a sort of practical or pragmatic basis. What tends to contribute to human flourishing and what doesn't? What suffocates human flourishing? And I'll just give you an example of this, right? So atheists, so the Pew Research poll that came out years ago that said that Islam is the fastest growing religion, it said why? It said because Muslims have the highest birth rates.
atheists have the lowest birth rates. Atheists are in the absolute lowest birth rate category. So just think from a practical, pragmatic perspective, if you're just looking at this scientifically, atheist, you would say, okay, the more people become atheists, the lower the birth rates drop. The lower the birth rates drop, the more people their country needs to bring in, because they're not even replacing the people who are dying. And so you have to bring in more people. Where do you get those people? You get those people from Muslim nations who are going to subjugate you. So it doesn't make sense to be obsessed with everyone becoming atheist, everyone's birth rates plummeting, and bringing in your government bringing in tons of Muslims to subjugate you. No, that would be stupid, wouldn't it? So why would you be so obsessed with, hey, all these Christians and all these other people, they all need to become atheists? Like, that's what I mean. Makes no sense. And yet, and so anyway, going along with what Amy is saying here, her position actually makes sense. If you were to take atheism true, you shouldn't care a whole lot about everyone agreeing with you. You should care way more about how it affects you in the world and whether it's having a good impact on you. That's what you should care about. And so I have to say, when you have the angry, hostile atheists, and
I don't care if it makes you happy. I don't care if it makes society better. I don't care in what ways it contributes to human flourishing. And I don't care if my own view would ultimately destroy everyone, even me, by getting us all subjugated. Yeah, I have to declare war on you becoming a Christian anyway.
It almost sounds like you're in a spiritual battle against God, and you just really, really, really hate Jesus. That's what it sounds like, Matt. It sounds like you just hate Jesus. That's what it sounds like. It doesn't sound like Amy does. It doesn't sound like other sort of calm atheists do.
Honestly, I wasn't following Amy before this, but just before that, I started following her. So I'm not sure what she does. I saw that she gave a TED talk somewhere about speech or something, but just because of that, I decided to follow her. I don't care. So you're saying the atheist is right here. Good. Vin says I really am.
Atheist is right about everything. Sorry.
Vin says I really am the smartest, and I agree. It doesn't win you any points. See, even the smartest person agrees with us. Powerful. So, and then they started fighting, which was kind of funny. I said, thank you, Amy. And he comes in, hi, clueless atheist. I'm talking to someone I know who has been on my shows. They previously pretended to skepticism and have tossed that aside for faith. We are both professional speakers and debaters talking on a public forum. You didn't give up the smug a-hole. And she said, you're a nasty piece of work who rose upon seeing a Christian's just pre-Easter post to sneer at his faith. Calling me smug doesn't make me so. In fact, it is the essence of unsmug that I said I acted like an a-hole, but reflected on that and changed my ways. Your problem, actually, is that I am anything but clueless. And instead of responding civilly, you attack with nasty words, small and ugly again.
I have to say, there's something else that's smart about Amy, and I have to say, lots of other internet atheists who 10 or 15 years ago were significantly more angry and hostile and so on, and have sort of mellowed out over the years. Part of that has been that, if you go back 20, 25 years, the thrust of the new atheism was, hey, if we just get rid of religion, if we just get rid of Christianity and so on, if we get millions of people to become atheists, society will become better. Okay, well, if you believed that, then it actually makes sense to go out and try to get millions of people to become atheists. It made sense to be aggressive. You've got a prediction. You're making a prediction. The world is going to become a better place if we get tons of people to become atheists. Well, Guess what? We've had over 20 years of this. Millions of people did become atheists. In what way has society or the world or has anything become better? I haven't seen anything that indicates that any of this or any of these predictions came true. So what you have is the people who are becoming less aggressive are the ones who are actually paying attention to, like, the data. The data has come in. Adopting atheism on a large scale does not make society better. Therefore, should you be as aggressive in putting it out there? No, it doesn't make the world a better place. In fact, it hurts the world in various ways. So for people now to say, hey, I was a jerk 15 years ago. I'm not going to be like that anymore because I don't have that belief that me somehow convincing tons of people to become atheists is going to make the world more scientific and more rational and so on.
Beast.
But Matt Dillahunty, so in other words, Matt Dillahunty, apart from seeming like he just hates Jesus and all things related to Jesus, and so it looks like a spiritual battle for him. Apart from that, he doesn't seem to care where the evidence points, because the evidence says that all the predictions of the new atheists are wrong. The evidence is in. None of their predictions came true. What's that mean? Drop the way you're doing things. Change it. You're being very unscientific.
Very, 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 very bad. Very bad, man. Black Angels at AP's hobby is to cause fights on X. This is true. This is now the 60th fight that I caused this week.
That's like the Apostle Paul, man. When he went in front of we brought it up before, when he went in front of the Pharisees and the Sadducees didn't believe in the resurrection, but the Pharisees did. And he says, hey, I'm just being brought in here because I believe in the resurrection. And then they all start arguing with each other. But that's like AP. Hey, look, life is better.
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? So let's say AP stands for aorta poisoner. The great divider of men. Mother Queen, when AP is still atheist, you're a closet Christian. When AP becomes a Christian, prove it. The funny thing is that I got lots of responses from people. I asked him, I am a Christian now, Matt. This is, by the way, the first time that I referred to myself as a Christian, but I thought...
I noticed that. I was like, I thought he wasn't referring to himself as a Christian.
I thought it's time, bro. Like, it's time. I feel
hang on. When is this? This is April 19th, so that is yesterday.
Yes.
Okay, so that is yesterday.
Yes.
When are you debating? When are you debating, Andrew?
Wilson?
Yeah. No, Andrew Martin. No, Andrew...
Tate.
I was thinking Andrew Jackson, but that wouldn't make any funny. Doesn't make any sense.
In 8 days, actually.
Hey, that would be a good point to bring out in the debate. It's like, okay,
I've only been Christian for 8 days.
Yeah, I've been a Christian for 8 days, and he wanted to debate me on what Christians are supposed to believe. So I don't know. Kind of looks like, guys, that if I hold my own at all, that this should be a massive embarrassment for him.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to bully the new ones here. And this
always
is
trying to bully the new Christians.
Not a good look. Not a good look at all. Yeah. Oh yeah, here we have a wonderful patient here that I'm starring some comments here that I see because I think they're wonderful. I'm a Christian now, Matt. My life is better this way. I am better. Why does this bother you? He then responded to it because you pretended to be a skeptic and then adopted a faith-based position that you do not defend, yet publicly support as if is true. You choose comfort over truth. You misrepresented yourself to those of us who promote. Is that really what this is about? I didn't even read that far.
It says those of is.
Those of us who promote.
No,
wait
those of is.
Wait. His problem here is that I misrepresented myself as a skeptic to those like him who promoted me. He wasn't. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what he's taking credit for, but my interactions with Matt Dillahunty only came into play like very, very recently. You
became popular for making brutal videos, making fun of Islam and exposing Islam. That's why you became popular. It wasn't because of Matt Dillahunty gave you the thumbs up and then you took off. What sort of fantasy land does this guy live in?
But my issue is rather that I want to be fair and pointed out when somebody actually contributed to something or when somebody was like out there promoting me or anything like that. Like this guy played no role at all in where
by the way, guys, that's all I was pointing out. I wasn't AP gets more views on a video or something. Nothing like that. That wasn't the point.
Like I can point out that like there are atheists that did contribute to promoting me early on, for example, and I can't think of some, like for example, what's the other guy's name? I forgot his name, but Seth something. What was it? What's this guy? I forgot his name. The thinking atheist. Yeah,
you got to be the thinking atheist.
He promoted me early on, for example. Armin Navabi, always thankful. He was always there collaborating with me early on and so on. So, but Matt Dillahunty, until recently, I never even did anything with him. Like, but by the time that I did something with him, I already had like an audience that was large enough and all that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So again, I'm not saying
he played no role in this at all. He's acting as if he played a role in this, but he did not play no role.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So that's delusional. Prove Prove it, Matt Dillahunty. Prove that AP owes his popularity to you. That's AP's more popular. AP is definitely about 1 trillion times more likable to everyone than you. So what sort of delusional fairy dust land do you live in that you think?
But I don't look as beautiful as him. Look at this.
I voted.
Wow. David, from your personal interactions with me, would you say that I pretended to be a skeptic or that I was and pretty much am a skeptic?
You were, and you don't seem to have changed. In fact, I can say that your skepticism played a role in your conversion because you're basically the one who's going, okay, I was doing this and it doesn't work. And it doesn't. There are problems with this position over here. We had discussions. We went through the cosmological argument, the fine-tuning argument, the moral argument. We went through these. We went through tons of videos and stuff where you're responding to this stuff. And
if I wasn't a skeptic, I would have probably converted to Christianity like many years ago or something.
Yeah, and my point is that what a lot of what you find, as far as from people like Matt Dillahunty, is they're taking dogmatic atheism and just calling it skepticism. That's not what skepticism is, right? In other words, skepticism, if someone says, hey, look, the universe really looks like it's designed for a purpose, and you say, therefore, it's arranged by a purpose and God created it. Skepticism would mean, okay, we have to really look into all the possibilities and see where the evidence points. And, you know, it's a big leap to say that there's some sky daddy out there, and so we have to be skeptical. But guess what? When an atheist or a naturalist responds and says, oh, this could just happen by luck, a real skeptic should be skeptical of that too and say, does chance really account for this? Is this really the best approach to take? A real skeptic should be skeptical not just of supernatural claims, but of naturalistic claims that really don't have a lot of support behind them. But so a lot of the Matt Dillahunty crowd, they seem to have just taken dogmatic atheism. We're the only ones who are right. Everyone else is dumb. And let's call that skepticism. Oh, you don't subscribe to this anymore? Then you're not a real skeptic.
Look at this.
You're a fraud.
Look at this. So what does this remind you of? I always suspected he was never a truly an atheist.
He didn't leave atheism. Atheism left him.
You were a fake atheist. You were just pretending. Recite Surah.
By the way, isn't it amazing that these are the same guys? If you ask them to defend their own position or give an argument for their own position, they'll instantly go, atheism is just lack of belief, man. It's just a lack. It's nothing else. There's no positive content to it. It's just a lack. So we have nothing to defend. And then as soon as you say, hey, I no longer lack belief. I went from lacking belief to not lacking belief. Hey, you were never lacked belief. What are you saying? Are you saying that no one can ever change a position? These are the same guys who, I was a Christian and I grew up in church and I believed in this stuff and then I left it. You see? It's like, wait, so you can change positions. You can believe something and then not believe in it. Or you can not believe in something and then believe in it, right? Yes, yes, as long as it's us. But as soon as
What is Farid doing in this discussion?
Wait,
Farid entered this discussion said, ever seen an atheist speak about Christianity like this? Clip is from 2018.
Oh, so this is Farid. He wasn't really an atheist. He was a closet Christian.
Let me see what I said back then.
Although I don't have a problem with Judaism and I don't have a problem with Christianity at all. I find Christianity beautiful. And I even told my wife recently, I wish it was true. Recently, quite a person.
What did I tell her?
You wish it was true.
I wish it was true. So excuse me. What did I tell her? I wish it was true. Meaning my position there is it's not true. So in 2018, my position about Christianity is it is not true, and I wish it was true. How is it supposed to show that I wasn't an atheist?
Because I guess according to Farid, if you're really an atheist and you lack belief, you should just say, no, it's the evilest thing in the world and it must be destroyed and subjugated.
So
but what's he pointing out? You've always been hey, I don't care a whole lot about what people believe. And some beliefs, it's actually, I'm fine with them having it because it's actually, it actually helps them and so on. So I'm totally fine with that. What I'm not fine with is trying to kill me over stuff. That's kind of always been your position. So I don't know what he. And by the way, as far as I wish it were true, Paul Draper, who I did my doctoral dissertation in response to his argument from evil, but he would say things like he doesn't believe in God, but he wishes it were true. He wishes there were someone looking out for things and so on. So I guess he's not a real atheist or agnostic or anything. Anyway, this is wild stuff.
I did sound like a little. Yeah, AP was so cute and gay back then, says Black Angel. Very, very rude.
In the moment I sat down with my wife and was just kidding about specific things and started reading verses from the New Testament. And I thought, this really is nice. This really is good. This is beautiful.
I sounded like a child back then, man. I learned English in the meantime. But this is the funny thing. Farid comes into this discussion. Look, here he says that he doesn't believe in Christianity and he wishes it was true. How could an atheist say something like that? So dumb, man. It is so ridiculous.
It's also weird that you saying positive things about, hey, there's some good verses here. No, you can't say that as an atheist. Like, why? Why can't you say, as an atheist, do unto others as you would have them do unto you is good? That's something good. I like that. I approve of that. Yeah, it's weird because when we're talking about like Muhammad and so on, and I'll point out, hey, Muhammad condemned female infanticide. Good. I like that. Please do that. Please condemn that practice. But why? Because it's an evil practice, and I don't care who you are. I hope you condemn that practice. So according to Farid, what does that mean? I'm an undercover Muslim because I can say something positive about something Muhammad said? This is weird stuff. Anyway, Farid is exposed. Farid is the Matt Dillahunty of Muslims.
Yeah, Farid did block me way back in the day. Before that, he was very friendly and was chatting with me while publicly debunking me. He was like being buddy with me and all that. And like, hey, what's up, man? And then eventually he blocked me because he said he gets upset whenever he sees a post by me or something.
Oh, that's funny. That makes sense though. Like, yeah, because it's weird because I kind of like Farid. Oh, yeah. How could a Christian say this? He must be an undercover Muslim.
It is very, very funny.
They pulled out the no true Scotsman. It's funny.
Because you pretended to be a skeptic. I said, what do you mean pretended? I was a skeptic, and to a great deal very much am. People who have watched me know that I've engaged with Christians respectfully, but with strong disagreements for many years. I don't tell people they should convert. Why do you come at me? And this is my whole point here. I never look. I have talked about Islam for years. I never went up to Muslims on their pages and said, you believe in stupid nonsense. Why would you believe in that? How dare you? What is your proof? Prove it. When people made public videos advocating for Islam, I did respond to them, right? When people made posts advocating for Islam, I did respond to those. I never went to people and acted like, how dare you? Why would you believe in this? Why would you not believe in that? Prove to me that this is true. Prove to me that this is not true. I never engaged in this behavior. I didn't do this to atheists. I didn't do this to Christians. I didn't do it even to Muslims. It's kind of weird that people come to me and just because I express my own feelings, I say it right here, and also my beliefs, people come at me and they're like, oh, why would you do this? How dare you? How dare you? And he even challenges me to a debate and says I would never debate him. He is acting like Muhammad Hijab. It's so weird. He is acting like Muhammad Hijab.
I challenge you to Mubahala. Mubahala. We will ask Chance to curse the liar.
Matt Dillahunty, I hereby challenge you to a mubahala and a cage fight at the same time. And also, while we're doing a cage fight and a mubahala, we can also debate.
Yeah.
If you don't accept it, you're a coward.
You're a coward and a liar and not a real atheist. Any true atheist would do it.
Accept my mubahala challenge. Come on. How dare you? So This is what Matt Dillahunty does about this topic. He doesn't like it. Here. I'm live at 2 p.m. Central. We're happy to give you time to defend your beliefs publicly today. Why?
And he's
Why
saying
would why do I have to? Why do I have to? Why would I want to defend my beliefs? I'm not interested in going out and preaching my beliefs. I'm not interested in convincing you. Why do you? So you believe something? How about you come here and defend your beliefs?
I am the belief police, and everything must come through me. I am the judge of what you must believe.